The single leg RDL is one of those lifts that we know we should be doing, but when it comes time to actually do it, we either half-ass it or we don't do it at all. That's what today's episode is all about. I'll show you how to take your single leg RDL to the next level so it doesn't become some kind of circus act and you'll actually generate a lot more results from it. So let's get into it. The bilateral RDL is hands down one of my favorite exercises of all time for targeting the whole back side of the body, especially done with a snatch grip. Unfortunately for some lifters like myself, and given my history as well, I tend to feel my right heel a lot more than my left heel, and this plays against my favor. So in order to complement my bilateral training, I have to throw in a lot of unilateral lifts like the single leg RDL for the posterior chain. Now when it comes to single leg RDLs, you look at a lot of people doing them in your commercial gyms, and a lot of the times it just turns into a circus act, just more stability than anything else. And one side of the posterior chain isn't getting loaded as much as it could because you're too caught up balancing yourself. So that's what today's episode is all about. I'll show you guys how to take a lot of the stability out of the single leg RDL so you could reap a lot of the same benefits while still working stability to a certain extent, but just more of the muscle. So more of a muscle building standpoint. So my favorite way to do this is the split stance RDL. I got this from Ben Bruno, but a lot of other coaches use it as well. And this basically takes a lot of the stability out of the equation. So a good cue on this is to have 90% to 95% of the weight on the front foot and around 5 to 10% on the back foot. Another great variation of the split stance RDL is to simply have your back foot against a wall. This teaches you heel reference and is good for a grounding tool because even though the back leg isn't contributing too much, it's still helping you feel that reference. Now, last but not least, very self-explanatory. You can hold onto a pole, hold onto a rack, and this will take care of the stability aspect in the single leg RDL. Now, as far as my lower body training is concerned right now, my coach and I are programming a lot of single leg work because I'm trying to feel that left heel again. So we tried a lot of bilateral stuff, but we're putting a bit of it on hold right now. So there it is. That's how you take your single leg RDLs to the next level. So let me know in the comment section below, do you personally do any single leg RDLs in your training? Did you get some value out of today's episode? Will you be implementing some of these strategies? And with that, I'll see you guys in the next episode.